Oh my gosh, you guys. Hello and welcome to ArsenGirl Gaming. My name is Heather and I thank you for joining me for this very, very special video. This is me playing Planet Zoo for the very first time. I have waited for what seems like forever to be able to do this, and I am glad I am able to share it with you. Let's jump in and get started. All right, welcome to Planet Zoo. We just need to create an avatar, okay?
Whoa. Whoa.
Let's see. I'll make my skin a little lighter.
Ah.
I probably want to make it a female. There we go. And let's see, head shape.
Oh.
I think I'll do that one. Why not? And then, I don't really resemble any of these hairs. But let's go ahead and do that one because I guess if I had short hair, I'd probably wear it that way. And I do wear glasses, so we'll do that. And I don't really love the clothes, but let's do pink-ish. Wait, let's go over here. Can I do it really pink? Kind of limited, but that'll work. And then we'll do white. Maybe? There we go. And can I change the shorts? And do the short legs here. Oh, perfect. Okay. So, oh, these are horrible. I guess I'll do this one. And how about we just do white? Oh, yeah, that looks much better. Okay. And I can't change our shoes, so we're stuck with that. The jacket is okay. And nothing on my head. Thank you very much. Alright, I guess that's a good-ish representation of me. I'll go ahead and accept. And we're going to place my avatar, Florida, somewhere. Thank you. Okay, so there are 3 ways to play this. We have Scenario, Franchise, and Sandbox. In the beta, it looks like we're limited to Scenario and Franchise, which is totally fine with me because I would like to just play through the scenario while I have time. Before we get started though, I do want to look at options here. I did turn down the soundtrack option so the music wasn't in the background. Left everything else the way it is. I guess maybe I'll turn these down about halfway because I'm not really sure what it's going to sound like altogether. We're going to mute the zoo music, enable subtitles so we can see that, and let's see. Mute non-voice audio during conversation. Sounds like a good choice. Camera, I think right now, just keep everything the way it is. Graphics, I'm going to keep everything the way it is as well. Interface, yep, I think I'm not going to mess with any of this stuff at this moment. Just so we can kind of see how it goes. Now, that being said, this is a beta, and if you don't want to be spoiled on the scenario gameplay, please, you may not want to watch this. Just to be aware. And in the future, all of our friends will show up here, so that'll be fun. Let's go ahead and jump into the scenario. We're going to start with Goodwin House. Looks like all these unlock as we go through. Now, they do also say coming soon, so they may not be included in the beta either. So just keep that in mind. Let's find out as we play through. Goodwin House, renovated and renamed after its purchase by Bernard Goodwin in the 1980s. Goodwin House has since become one of the most respected zoos in the country. More recently, it has undergone further renovation to update many of the habitats and facilities. But due to various issues, the work hasn't quite been completed, which is where you come in. Cool. So I do like how in Planet Zoo versus Planet Coaster, if you've ever played that, Planet Zoo is going to have scenarios that build upon themselves and kind of really introduce you to the intricacies of playing in running a zoo. Oh man, this is so beautiful.
Heyo at Hematu. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I have a habit of slipping back into the Planko language. It's good to finally meet you in person. I'm Bernard, although I insist you call me Bernie. The only person who calls me Bernard is my wife. And even then, only when I've tracked elephant dung into the carpets. As you know, I own several zoos, but I always like to show people the ropes here at my home. This is the first zoo I ever opened, and a source of great pride for me. And prides, thanks to a lion breeding program we ran in the 80s. But we're in the middle of a big renovation, and that's where you come in. Sadly, our old contractor had to retire after developing a fur allergy. Poor devil kept sneezing his dentures into the lion habitat. So, it's up to you to finish everything off. Don't worry, though. I'm not completely throwing you in at the deep end. My head keeper, Nancy Jones, will be lending a helping hand.
Nice.
Oh, she's a hard worker, and she'll expect you to be too. But I'm sure you'll get along like a house on fire, or even better, one that isn't on fire. Less shouting that way.
All right.
Hello
Great.
there.
Hi,
From
Nancy.
that rosy, fresh face of yours, I'm guessing you're Bernie's new hire. Good.
I am.
Now, I hope you're ready to ditch your diploma because we're about to get really hands-on.
Okay.
But before we begin the real work, how about we familiarize you with the zoo by learning how to fly around it and visiting some of our beautiful animals? We'll start by popping over and having a look-see at the grizzly bears in their habitat.
Okay. So that must be the blue rings over here. Look at him. Oh my God. This camera is so fluid. Oh, wow. Whoa. Wow.
Did you know that grizzly bears, also known as Ursus arctos horribilis, can hibernate for up to 7 months a year? Oh, but then again, given the chance, I think a lot of people would do that too. Select one of the bears and you'll bring up its information panel.
Okay.
This is where you can find out all kinds of information about your animal. The most important thing being its overall welfare. You'll learn more about animal welfare today as we go through your objectives. But for now, let's enjoy this magnificent animal. Why don't you select the camera at the bottom of its information panel?
All right. I only need to be told twice.
See now, this
my
is a
gosh.
fantastic way to get a close look at your animals.
my
You can also get this view of an animal by simply double-clicking on it.
Look at that face. Oh. Look
Okay,
at the
when you're ready,
breathing.
let's pop over to the other side of the zoo and take a look at the lions. I've marked their location for you to find.
Oh, I have to leave this gorgeous creature. Look at the breathing. I don't want to. So, she said she has marked its location for the lions. Pull out, and there we go. Africa. I feel like I'm at Animal Kingdom.
Panthera leo. Or the West African lion to you and me. Lions are the most social of the big cats, and there can be as many as 40 lions in a pride. Although prides of that size are pretty rare. As Bernie would say, those lions are awesome. Which is precisely why I handle the training instead these days. Anyway, how about we get started on those objectives? Come on, let's head over to our warthog habitat and see what needs doing there.
All right. I will definitely do that, but oh my gosh, look at these lions. Okay, let's go to the warthogs.
As you can see, it's a lovely space for warthogs, but it's missing a certain something. Well, two somethings. The warthogs. So
Right.
I'd like you to adopt a pair of them. To adopt animals, we need to open the animal market, which is in the animal trading section.
Okay. Animal trading is down here.
There we
Animal
are, a
market.
pair of perfectly splendid warthogs for our zoo. Just click on them and select Buy from the side menu. Normally the animal exchange would be full of animals, but I've emptied out the market while you learn how it works.
All right,
The last
so
thing I need is you accidentally ordering a dozen elephants.
I'm assuming buy and adopt are the same thing, so I'm going to go ahead and hit adopt and adopt.
When you adopt an animal, it's automatically placed in the trade centre where they're held until you're ready to move them into their habitat, which, as it happens, you are. So how about you move them into their new home?
I'll do so. Select an animal, select all, 2, send to zoo. Now we just wait.
When you ask for an animal to
Oh,
be
okay.
moved into a habitat, your caretakers will go to the trade centre, collect your animal and deliver them to your selected habitat. I've marked the trade centre's location, so let's go and watch the caretakers in action.
Okay. Where is it? Oh, there it is. That little teeny tiny building over here.
Well, as you can see, those caretakers don't hang about. They'll move those animals to their destination as fast as possible. Of course, normally we'd have to place the animals into quarantine before moving them into a habitat, but I am assured by a person of good standing that these warthogs are in the very rudest of health.
Oh, there's
Right,
one.
let's get the warthog's habitat finished up so we can keep them nice and happy. You see, each animal in the zoo has an overall welfare statistic, basically how happy they are. And that overall welfare statistic is itself comprised of 4 different areas: nutrition, social health, habitat, and enrichment. Luckily, if you select an animal, you'll bring up their
Oh,
animal
he's
welfare
made it.
information panel, which we saw earlier, where you can see how they're doing. That way, you'll know exactly what areas need to
Yay.
be addressed. Don't worry if that's a lot to remember. You can always check the Zoopedia for more information.
Okay.
Let's start by making sure we're taking care of the warthog's nutrition welfare. To do this, we'll need to place a food station and a drinking station. Now, each animal requires a different type of feeding station. And for the warthogs, it's a small feeding trough. So let's add one of those and a water bowl.
All right, we've got a food. And should I put water farther away? Let's do that.
Animals also require stimulation to keep them happy. Let's add a lovely mud bath for the warthogs to roll around in. That bath will count towards their enrichment welfare, specifically their toy enrichment welfare.
Okay. Let's see. Let's put that right here.
Oh, nice work. You've got a knack for this, I see.
Thank you.
Now, our contractor had to leave in a hurry, so this place is in a fair old state. Unfinished thingamajigs and what's-its all over the shop. But the first thing we need to finish is the ostrich habitat. It's over near the hippos.
It's over near the hippos. All right. I like ostriches. Oh, yes. It's missing part of its fence.
Okay. Job number 1 here is to add a habitat gate before we complete the barrier. Every habitat needs a habitat gate. After all, how else would the keepers get in and out? Just make sure it's hooked up to the path so the keepers can reach it.
Okay. Place a gate. There's the gate. Does it matter where I put it?
Right.
Oh, there
Let's
we go.
complete the
Okay, I
perimeter
right-clicked
barrier so we
it,
can adopt
and then
us
it
some
worked.
ostriches. I've marked out an area for you to use, so I'd like you to finish off the perimeter using the brick barrier. Good work. Remember, before you can place animals in any habitat, it has to have a full loop of connected barrier. Now, you've probably noticed that guests can't actually see into this habitat
Exactly.
at the moment.
Yeah.
At least not without a stepladder.
Right.
But seeing as they're banned, I'd like you to select a piece of barrier and swap out the brick for a glass barrier so the
Okay.
guests can see in. There we go. Adding in more windows gives guests even more opportunities to see the animals in a habitat. It's always best to make sure the guests can get a good view into a habitat from the path they're walking on, because it makes them happy, and because this would be a pretty terrible zoo if they couldn't. The last thing we need to do is to add a donation box. You see, when guests enjoy the view of an animal, they'll make a donation. Just make sure you put them in easy-to-reach places, like near a viewing point. Donation boxes are one of the main sources of income for the zoo, so make sure you remember them.
All right, so donation box I'll put right by this
All right,
window.
you've finished the habitat, so it's high time we adopted those ostriches, don't you think?
Yes.
Let's get 4 of them in here.
4 of them. Okay. Animal trading. Thank you for reminding me. And animals. Here's the 4 ostriches. Adopt, 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 and adopt. Thank you. And then we'll send them to the zoo. Open Trade Center. Select all 4. Send to zoo.
While we wait for them to be collected by the caretakers and brought to the habitat, you should get it ready for them. Add a suitable feeding station, water station, and an appropriate food enrichment item. It's often best to place things like enrichments and feeding stations near to the habitat perimeter, so guests can get a really good view of the animals.
Good point. Okay. We'll do a feeder, water. Oh, that's food, food, and water. Hey, look at us.
Oh, good to see the ostriches have somewhere they can really stretch their legs.
Yay!
Did you know they can actually run at 43 miles per hour?
Wow.
Oh, heaven forbid they ever escape. The speed camera fines alone would bankrupt us.
Well, Bernie certainly seems impressed. Did he do his speed camera joke? Every time we get an ostrich. So, now we've made the ostriches' lives a bit better, let's do the same for the keepers, shall we? To make it easier for the keepers to feed the ostriches and hippos, we should build a new keeper hut. Keeper huts are where the keepers prepare the food for animals, so they should be placed near to the habitats to make sure the keepers don't waste their time walking when they should be looking after the animals.
All right, you guys, I think that is as good of a place as any to wrap up this episode. My very first episode of my Planet Zoo series. I do hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you will be back for more because I surely will. I wanted to ask you to please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And of course, if you're new to my channel and you'd like to see more, go ahead and subscribe, then ring the bell because that's the way that you will be notified when I post more Planet Zoo or Sims 4 or any of the other fun stuff I have coming. And that way you don't miss out on anything. And until then, you guys, have a great one.